Hi guys, and welcome back to another tutorial on WinCC. What I wanted to kind of show you a little was a previous project that I did to give you an idea of the possibilities of what we're doing. This is a thing that I'll start up on here on the runtime. We can just see what's on the screen and what's not on the screen, but these are a lot of symbols that you've got available. You've got lamps here, you've got switches, later down the bottom you've got let's just switch that control. Okay, what we've got here is one of the front panels. Now you'll see that on this side and along the bottom is part of my template. Okay, so whatever screen that I move into, whether it be tracking, alarms, oh, that needs a password, go away, scanners, you will see that these buttons always, oh, I need that as well, cancel that, control and tracking, you'll see all the buttons there along the way. Okay, this was a pallet tracking system that we did to have pallets automatically load on the back of a truck, this being the truck here. And you'll see that I incorporate a lot of different things on this. As I say, we have our buttons here, our lamps here. I have face plates that appear and disappear. We'll go into face plates a little later. The same here for information, and we have the ability to turn switches on and off. Now we can't do that because of course we're not connected up to the PLC, but it's just a general idea. I'm not saying I'm the greatest guy on graphics at all, but there we go. What I've also created here is I got a little picture of an LED with a bevel edge, and we put on these little colours that we all see later. So if I come out of that, you'll see that, oops, no, right, the reason that's faulting out actually is due to this MS-COM little object here. Notice, remember when I said to you that you've got that hidden overview underneath? Well, that's that overview screen in the background there. So you'll notice that I've added a load of screens here, and if I go into tracking, you will also see that I have a lot of objects on the screen, and on those, based on our last little video, was that we had the invisible buttons. So when those graphics appear, that button becomes enabled, and that allows the operator to press the button without, or press the symbol, the graphic, and for the pallet information to appear for that particular pallet. The rest of this is just pure graphics. Okay, this is done by drawing your lines. Okay, pick a point, yeah, circles, which we've got, and rectangles. Okay, so that's all done by creating symbols from these. Some of these symbols, like the conveyors, I found on the internet as either free graphics. So if I go into the animations, you'll see that the appearance has certain colours when they change colour, and the general, where are we, general properties, this is where I found pictures, or I've drawn pictures and created, in fact I think I created these ones using Microsoft Paint. Okay, so it just allows me to add the picture in, and once I'm happy with that picture I just press the set button or clear it if I don't like it. Okay, so you can make up a tremendous amount of graphics from Paint, or from anywhere that you can get pictures from. I think if I remember rightly, they prefer either being JPEG and bitmap. Some of the others don't work very well. You'll see a lot of these objects that when we ran this program earlier, they weren't present, and that's because they're only enabled, the appearance and the visibility is only enabled on bits that are high or coming in from the PLC as being high. This just tells me that I've actually got a transfer going on between position 1 and position 2. Okay, so that's some of the things that we've got there. What else have we got? In the maintenance, I've got a little maintenance screen here. And I've got some extra objects here, basically buttons, but it allows me to get into behind a password, which let's see if this runs. And I've got various controls as well to set the system up. So here I don't want that. Right, let's go to our maintenance screen. You'll see that it wants a password, so I'll just enter our password in, and we'll be showing you how to do that. Press the maintenance. Oops. I think it's because I need to be connected. Oh, there we go. No, we don't. There we go. We've got the screens here, so I've got various timer screens that I can go. Exit screens. Okay. And we exit out of that one. PLC, this is quite handy for maintenance so that they can view and monitor the outputs of the PLC. Destination transfer flags, there's my LEDs again. Lists where I can select a mode for the system, and I've got barcode scanners that I can turn on and off as well. Okay, so we'll be going through all of those. I've also got the MS-COM, which is communications, because I actually have barcode scanner connected to the screen via the serial port, and he's operated purely through the screen and then sends the relevant data off to the PLC. Okay, so that's the crash dump from the MS-COM. So we will be going through some of these, so we'll go back to our other video or our other screen shortly, but what I wanted to kind of show you was some of the properties. Okay, just to show you that these properties are all the same, or virtually all the same anyway. You've got the appearance, the layouts and the flashing, animations and events, switch on, switch off. Some of them vary if we're using switches, so we actually have a switch here, so you can put a switch on, and if you run that, the text will be on for switch and 0. You'd have to add a tag, which again, to go through the tags that we had previously, I can choose from the PLC or internal tags. Okay, so I can choose a switch. We don't want an output, so we could do that, and whoops, there we've got the switch on, switch off. We can set those bits. The process tag will be for enabling that, and we can put a switch with text or with graphic. If I go with graphic, then what I can do is go to my simple graphics. Oops, there we go, graphics. And what I can do is select, let's find True Colors, 3D push buttons, I don't know, switches, might be under push buttons. Okay, so we've got, there we go, our switches. So we can say that the switch could be, and that graphic would be select a switch to the left. Okay, so I believe I've actually got it here already, so select a switch to the left, and I can off to the right. This is probably the wrong way around, but there we go. Select a switch to the right and set it. So there we go. I don't want that background in, so we can go through some of the properties, drop the 3D border, and you probably want to change that just slightly dark. Oh, that's too dark. Is it that one there? There we go, to the same background. So that again, when you run that, you will actually see the graphic come up in a minute. Okay, and if I've forgotten which screen we were on the maintenance screen. So if we went into maintenance, we've got to go into admin, and you can see when you set up these passwords, it will bring up a keyboard automatically onto the screen. So there we go, there we've got our switch. We can't do anything with it even if we click it, so but that's how to get your basic graphics up, and then you can just size it the way that you want it to size. Get rid of the crash dump. Oops. Right, so you can size it to the way you want it, and to put a little label on, well, that's simple enough. You've got text fields here, and you could put, you know, down in here you could put on. You could change the colour of that text colour to red if you wanted it, and then just place it over the top of your graphic a little bit better than I have. Okay, so you can create quite a number of switches or buttons, very, very similar to the way that you did a button, just that this is a two-stage or a single pole switch, and you can include the graphic onto that. Okay, just to show you really the difference between buttons and switches. Alright, so I hope that's been useful. I again play with that because again the text and the general properties are virtually all the same for every object. Some of them differ slightly. Animations, you've got appearance, enable the object, again all the same properties as we had before, and events exactly the same, except you will see some of these change. You may have more or less in one or two objects. Switch on and switch off, obviously it's exactly the same as we did prior for the push buttons. You just select the set bit, the variable that you want. We'll just put that one on for now, and then the switch off would be the reset. Okay, so it will be the same one. Notice, oops, I keep clicking off this. Notice that there is no click on this one, whereas on the push buttons we had the click. When we did the push buttons earlier, we had those down as there was a click value which is not available on a switch type. So they do change, just keep an eye on them, but most of the time you'll have the same properties available for most of the symbols. Okay, so we've covered the fact that we can draw lines, we can do circles or ellipses, whatever we want. Okay, and you get certain amount of properties. Look at the circle. We can make it flash. We've got animations as well, so you can do things with those. We've been able to add a switch on, and there's a default version of the switch. We've been able to either make it with a text, or we can do it with a graphic, which generally what we do, and we've been able to import the graphic either from a prior list that we've made, or just by going through the miscellaneous or factory graphics true color here, but the easiest way is from your graphics there. Alright, so you can see what graphics you've got and you can place those on, and obviously when your switch goes on or off you can have the graphic change view to make it look as if a real switch is acting. Alright, again, notice the orange. I've told it I want a graphic and it's saying, well, give me a graphic. It's a warning to say you need to do something here. Alright, so there we go. Another quick look on an existing screen of how how I've laid things out. I don't say it's the best way or the perfect way, but it's a way of doing them. And we will go through some of these other controls at a later date. I hope you've enjoyed this one. This was just a short video to prove a lot of the objects are very, very similar, and not to get too worried about trying to get switches or buttons or anything else to work. Alright, any questions, send me a message. I'd love your comments, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't already.